Hello students, welcome to IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a term that has been recently come into news, that is the Anthropocene Epoch. So Anthropocene Epoch is basically an attempt to classify the history of the earth or classify the geological time scale of the earth into new division. So what is this all information? What is this all about? What is the significance of this classification, or we can say new classification for the geological history of earth, and how it is going to impact the future of the earth? All this we are going to discuss about. Apart from that, we're also going to discuss about that why there is a need for this new latest classification in the following video. So first of all, to give you the context of the issue which we are going to discuss, earlier this week actually the scientists, while they were analyzing and researching in the Canada's in Ontario province, we have a lake that is called as Crawford Lake. So while researching in this Crawford Lake region and while looking at the sediments of this Crawford Lake region, they have said that this sediment provide us with sufficient evidences that can help us in declaring the beginning of a new epoch, that is the Anthropocene epoch. Basically, this research was carried out by the team of 35 scientists who belong to a group that is called as Anthropocene Working Group. And basically, the main aim of this working group is to make the Anthropocene epoch or make the Anthropocene part of the planet's time scale after the analysis or with the help of analysis in the Crawford Lake region. So first of all, before understanding this topic in more detail, let us try to understand the location of this lake where the analysis and research has been carried out. So as we can see, Crawford Lake is a small lake that is situated in the Great Lakes region, which is the largest freshwater body on the Earth's surface, situated between the border of US in the south and Canada in the north. Basically, these Great Lakes are total five in number. We have Huron, then we have Erie, we have Ontario, we have Lake Michigan, and we have Lake Superior. And somewhere, as you can see, slightly to the west of Lake Ontario in Canada, we have the small lake that is called as Crawford Lake. It is a type of glacial lake. The glacial lakes basically are such type of lake which develop due to the scouring or excavation of the bed of the sediments by the glacier movement, and later on when the glacier retreats, the water basically deposited here or water basically collect here due to melting of the glacier, and thus that led to formation of the Crawford Lake. Now, what will change if these research and the what I can say the outcome of this research analysis is accepted by the wider or larger scientific community? The most important changes we'll observe is the change in the official geological time scale of the Earth. Now let us try to understand this in more detail. It is not going to be a very simple, like the changes are not going to happen in very simple manner. Basically, there are a lot of steps that need to be followed by these scientists. For example, as we have discussed, this particular research about the sediments of Crawford Lake has been done by the Anthropocene Working Group. So they will present their proposal to a larger number of scientific communities, scientific organizations in the 37th International Geological Congress that is going to be held in next year in 2024 in the Busan region of South Korea. And if their research and its analysis is accepted by the delegates of 37th International Geological Congress, then only there will be official changes in the geological time scale of the Earth by addition of a new epoch, that is the Anthropocene epoch. Now, before understanding the addition of Anthropocene epoch, we also have to understand that what is the geological time scale of the Earth. So basically, geological time scale refers to a division of the Earth's history or Earth's age into various subdivisions. Basically, if you talk about the Earth formed somewhere about 4,500 million years ago. And so to understand each part of the Earth's geological history, we have divided into various different time periods. And this also serves as a fundamental tool that is used by many scientists, whether they are geologists, whether they are paleontologists, or any other scientists to study the history of the planet Earth. As of now, if we talk about from the larger time frame to smaller time frame, we have classified the time or the history of Earth into 5 different scale. So on the largest scale, we have eons. Until now, 4 eons have been recognized in the Earth's history. Then after that, we have the era. Basically, eons are divided into several eras. So 4 eons have been classified or subdivided into 10 different eras. Eras are further divided on a smaller time frame in the periods. And as of now, we have 22 different periods of the Earth. Then the periods are further subdivided into much smaller divisions of epochs. And right now we have total 37 epochs. And finally, the epoch are further subdivided, which is the smallest time frame, the smallest age of the Earth's geological history is the age. And as of now, we have 96 different ages since last 4.5 billion years ago. That is when the Earth formed. So basically, eons are the largest unit of geological time. So if you look at these in more detail, we can see the first eon was what we refer as a Phanerozoic eon, which lasted somewhere about 538 million years. Followed by that, we have the Proterozoic eon that was about 2500 to 538 million years ago. Then we have the Archean eon that is 4000 to. So now if you take a look at the eons, that is the largest interval of Earth's history or Earth's periodic geological history. The first eon is what we refer as Hadean eon that lasted for almost 567 million years between 4561.3 to 4000 million years ago, just after the formation of the Earth. Followed by that, the second eon is what we refer as Archean eon that lasted for almost 1500 million years between 4000 to 2500 million years ago. Third eon is what we refer as Proterozoic eon that lasted for almost 1961 million years. For example, this is the longest eon of the Earth's history between 2500 to 538 million years ago, and currently the eon of which we are part of is what we refer as Phanerozoic eon that lasted from last 5 that actually is going on from last 538.8 million years till now. So currently if the question is asked that in which eons of the Earth's history we exist today, the answer will be that it is the Phanerozoic eon, the fourth eon of the overall geological history. So if you look at more presently, as we have divided the eon into eras into periods, periods into epochs, and epochs into ages, if currently question is asked that of what of these Earth's geological history we are part of. So as we discussed, we are part of Phanerozoic eon. In the Phanerozoic eon, we are part of Cenozoic era. In the Cenozoic era, we are part of Quaternary period. And in the Quaternary period, we are part of Holocene epoch. And further, in the Holocene epoch, we are part of the age that is called as Meghalaya age or Meghalayan age. So this is how we can divide the history of Earth. Before Quaternary, we can see several different periods are there. For example, Jurassic period, which was part of Mesozoic era, that is when you have the existence of different dinosaurs. Before that, we have different eras. When you have formation of Cambrian a period was there. When you have formation of Aravallis, for example, we have then Pleistocene period when you have formation of the Great Plains of India. And so a lot of important geological changes has happened in the past 4,500 million years history of the Earth. And to understand this in more detail, there is a need for classification and classification of Earth's history into geological time scale. Now, what is the basis of classification of this history? So, if we try to understand, we can go back far ago, somewhere in the 16th, 17th century, when we have a Danish scientist by the name of Nicholas Stone. Nicholas Stone was actually working to understand the mineral structure of the earth, to understand the sediments of the earth. And while studying the sediments of the earth, sedimentary rocks of the earth, he gave a very important law that is called as laws of stratigraphy. And laws of stratigraphy basically tells us that he said that first of all, if we talk about the rock structure, we have three types of rock: sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock, and igneous rock. He said that sedimentary rock layers are found in horizontal beds. And second, he said that in the sedimentary bed, the older rocks are lying below while the younger rocks are lying above. That means if we have three layers of sedimentary rock, he said that the oldest layer will be at the bottom and the youngest layer will be at the top of this bed. However, this does not yield any significant result in or did not yield any significant help in classification of classification of Earth's history. Thus, another breakthrough was made in 18th century by an Italian geologist by the name of Giovanni Arduino. Giovanni Arduino was studying in the Italian Alps, the rock structure of the Italian Alps, and that is when he said that Earth's crust can be divided into four main layers. In terms of rock, it can be primary rock, then it will have the secondary rock, then we have tertiary rock, and then we have the quaternary rock. And thus he said the quaternary rocks will be lying at the top and the primary rocks will be lying at the bottom of these four layers of the Earth's crust. Following that, The another important breakthrough happened in 19th century by an English surveyor by the name of William Smith. And William Smith actually helped to classify the Earth's history with the help of the fossil evidences that he find in the Earth's crustal rock. And it is during this time he gave a very important principle that is called as principle of faunal succession, where he has clearly stated that if you look at the fossils are basically found in the same order under the Earth's surface from place to place. For example, what he tried to say that if we have an animal A, the fossil of an animal A at suppose in United States of America, and suppose again we have a fossil of the same animal A that you find for example in Mexico. So what he basically was trying to say that by looking at the rocks in which the fossil of this animal A is found, we have to understand both these rocks must have formed in the same time. That means, for example, it is quite possible that the fossil in USA might be found in the second rock bed and fossil in Mexico is found in the third rock bed. But it does not make it any difference, because as per the principle of faunal succession of Smith, it means that the third layer of rock of Mexico and the second layer of rock of USA must be formed in the same time, must be of the same age, because both contain similar type of fossil. And this was the main basis on which we have the classification of geological age that happened. However, further most striking breakthrough happened in 1900s, when there is a development of radiometric dating of the rock, and thus we have a more evolved and precise time scale appeared with the help of radiometric dating. However, the basis of classification of Earth's history still remains the principle of faunal succession given by the William Smith. So the question comes that why the scientists suddenly have this need, or they feel this need to classify the Earth's history into new epoch. So the answer is very simple. Or for example, this is true for any of the classification that has been done in the past. The reason is the layer of the Earth, especially the layer of the Earth's crust, has undergone significant changes in the past millions and millions of years, and these rocks actually uh, contain evidences of the major events that Earth has experienced. For example, the mass extinctions of the animals and the plants, whether there are significant changes in the sea level and the ocean chemistry, or whether it is a relatively rapid change in the prevailing climate patterns. All these changes are captured in the layers of the rock, and often these periods mark the end of one interval and the beginning of the another. And thus what we can say, the formalization of Anthropocene epoch hinges on whether the effects of humans on Earth are substantial enough to eventually appear in the rock strata, because this is the most important criteria for classification of the Earth's history into a new age, eons or epoch, or whatever changes that has been done or that has occurred in the past few hundred years should actually be captured by the layers of the rock or strata of the rocks. If these changes has not been captured in the rock layer, there is no basis of the new classification. So if we talk about now in more detail, what does Anthropocene basically stand for? So in simple word, we can say that it is nothing but a proposed geological epoch that began when the human impact started to radically alter the Earth's ecosystem and geology. And the main reason why scientists say that we should design a new epoch called as Anthropocene epoch, because they believe that the impact that human intervention or human activity had on the earth in past few hundred years is significant enough to change the geology of the earth, or significant enough to be captured by the layers of the earth rock. In this regard, the first attempt was made by an American biologist by the name of Eugene Stormer. Eugene Stormer has made the contribution by actually this coining the term Anthropocene. However, it was the Dutch chemist and novelist Paul Crutzen who is largely credited with bringing public attention to the Anthropocene in a conference in 2000, and further in year 2008, British geologist Jan Jalakiewicz and his colleagues put forth the first proposal to adopt the Anthropocene epoch to officially make it as a part of the Earth's geological history at a formal geological interval. So this is overall evolution of the demands of the Anthropocene by the scientific community. And also the recent research have revealed that new epoch commenced somewhere between 1950 and 1954. So that is all about this particular video. I hope you understood about the related information. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more support. Thank you very much.